Thom Hartmann here on the news. You need to know this. All around us, people are coming down with the flu, and the Centers for Disease Control warn that it could be the worst flu season in 10 years. And to make matters worse, our national workplace policies are helping to spread the flu. Despite the CDC recommending people stay home and avoid contact with other people, most workers don't have that option, as the United States is the only developed country in the world that doesn't guarantee sick paid days to its workers. As a result, 40% of private sector workers and 80% of low-income workers don't get any paid sick days. In the food industry, where the chances of the flu spreading are highest, 79% of workers say they received no paid sick leave whatsoever. Our lack of protections for workers is directly responsible for more flu illnesses around the nation. As a 2009 study in the American Journal of Public Health found, there were as many as 5 million additional cases of H1N1 flu in 2009 due to a lack of paid sick time. Giving workers what they earned, which is paid sick days, isn't about workers' rights, or isn't just about workers' rights. It's about national security and saving millions of Americans from needlessly contracting the flu when they dine out or go to the grocery store or at work. Unfortunately, the billionaire class running corporate America has squeezed every bit of profit they can from their workers, denying them union representation, health care, paid vacations, and, of course, sick leave. This is insanity, and we should protest with our wallets and pocketbooks. Before dining out, call the restaurant and ask if they offer paid sick days to their employees. If not, then eat there at your own risk. In Screwed news, America is exceptional in one thing: poor health care. A new study by the Health Institute of America looks into health results in the 17 most developed nations in the world, and it finds that the United States ranks near the bottom of the list in several important indicators. These include teen pregnancies, sexually transmitted diseases, infant mortality, heart and lung disease, disability rates, and homicides. When it comes to life expectancy, the United States ranks dead last among the other 17 nations studied. On average, a man in the United States lives 4 years fewer than a man in Switzerland. Stephen Wolf, the chairman of the panel, wrote the report, said he was stunned by the results, noting the scope of the disadvantage covers all ages, from babies to seniors, both sexes, all classes of society. The study also notes that it's getting worse, as healthcare trends have moved downward ever since the election of Ronald Reagan. Of course, the easy solution to all of this is for the United States to do what the rest of the developed world is doing and make healthcare a basic human right for all its citizens. That means basically outlawing the for-profit health insurance leeches who make fortunes denying children life-saving medical procedures. In the best of the rest of the news, another school shooting in America. This time it happened in California, where a troubled student walked into a science class and shot 2 people before surrendering his weapon to an unarmed teacher. Both victims will recover, and the shooter is in custody. The shooting happened at exactly the same time television networks were covering Vice President Joe Biden's remarks about gun control following the last school shooting in Newtown. When a school shooting interrupts a news conference about how to prevent school shootings, then we definitely have a school shooting problem in America. And for the NRA's information, there was an armed guard at the school who was unable to prevent the shooting. In this case, an unarmed teacher was able to talk the student down, rather than an armed teacher who likely could have triggered a fight in a crowded classroom. Want to balance the budget? Then raise taxes. That's the lesson in California, a state that's been plagued by fiscal woes for years, but now has a balanced budget. During a press conference on Thursday, California Governor Jerry Brown announced the deficit is gone and unveiled a new budget that will actually bring a $21 million surplus into California by next year. Compare that to the $26 billion deficit he inherited from Republican Schwarzenegger. California's improved fiscal situation is a direct result of a tax increase on the rich, which voters approved back in November. Not only were Democrats in California able to close the budget hole as a result of the tax increase, they were also able to restore critical education investments that had been cut during the Republican years. This is the same choice we face on a national level. Do we want to be investing in education, renewable energy, healthcare, and infrastructure? Or do we want to be investing in billionaires? I choose the first, and so should you. Go to nobillionaires.com. And finally, Michelle Bachmann has some secrets she doesn't want getting out. As Salon reports, 5 former staffers on Bachmann's presidential campaign are still waiting to get paid for their work. despite the campaign wrapping up nearly a year ago. According to Bachmann's national field coordinator, Peter Waldron, Bachmann has more than $2 million still in her campaign account, but is refusing to pay the $5,000 she owes to her former staffers unless they all agree to sign a non-disclosure agreement that prevents them from talking about, quote, any unethical, immoral, or criminal activity, end quote, that they may have witnessed on the campaign trail. So the question is, what happened behind the scenes of the Michelle Bachmann for President campaign that she's so desperately trying to keep secret that is immoral, unethical, or illegal? And that's the way it is today, Friday, January 11th, 2013. I'm Thom Hartmann on the news.